Well, it looks like we've come to the end of the road for Apple, at least when it comes to their Apple Watch band. Apple's little reprieve of them having the opportunity to sell the watch is back off again. As of today at 2 p.m. Eastern, Apple Watch Series 9, the Ultra 2 band, are back on band as of right now. So it looks like Apple did not get what they want in the court. The judge said we're going to deny that for right now, and you have to abide to the ban that they have in place. So we're going to dig into this article. Apple Watch Series 9 Ultra 2 band is back on starting January 18th. Now, this is an article out of BGR.com. But before we dive into the details about this, if you are new to this channel, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and hit that like button as well. All right, let's dive into this article. All right. So remember last month in December, Apple was, faced with a decision from the courts that they had to stop selling their Apple Watches online and in physical stores because of a lawsuit that stems from Masimo. Masimo is claiming that Apple has infringed upon their patents for the blood oxygen sensor that were found in the Apple Watches. So at the end of December, Apple had to actually stop selling those watches online. I think around December 25th or December 24th, the day before Christmas, they couldn't sell them online. And then towards the end of December, they could not sell them in the stores anymore at their physical locations. But around the end of December, Apple had got a stay from the courts that allowed them to have a few more days. In this case, it was about a couple more weeks where they were still allowed to sell the Apple Watches with the blood oxygen sensor they would sell them on their website and in the physical stores until the matter was resolved later. But it looks like that has come to an end here. Quick little background. For background, the medical technology company Masimo has accused Apple of stealing its pulse oximeter technology from the Apple Watch. The ITC then upheld a judge's ruling that Apple infringed on two of Masimo's patent. So I did a video earlier going down this whole, broke all this down. I went over the history of it as far back as, Apple's trying to poach some of their engineers from Masimo. If you want to know the details about that and the more history of where this lawsuit was stemming from, I'll make sure to link that video right here for you, and it will be down in the description as well. So you can go check that out to get some of the background and history as to how we got here today. Here we go. Apple stopped selling the Apple Watch Series 9 and Ultra 2 in stores, but we're still available at third-party retailers. After a temporary pause, Apple started selling the Series 9 and Ultra 2 models in its physical stores and online at the end of December. Apple's victory was short-lived, though it's unclear as to what this means for Apple Watch sales in the coming weeks. Neither Apple nor Masimo have issued any responses to the decision yet. But I think I did hear something about Masimo that they were obviously, thrilled that this was. No, actually, they came out and said that Apple should not be selling any watches with. He said customers don't need to have Apple watches that have the blood oxygen sensor in there. So that was something from Masimo that just, I think, came out earlier today. Excuse me. So, but Apple does have a fix. Again, I also detailed that in the previous video. They do have a workaround for that in the sense that they're going to change the software so they will be able to sell these watches. So Apple to sell Apple Watch with blood oxygen detection removed to bypass ITC import ban. Yeah, in my previous video, I broke all this down. I asked the question, why? So once you understand the history of this, you know that Apple probably knew what they were doing when they first got into the situation. They knew that they had poached one of the engineers from Masimo. They knew that they were working on this blood oxygen sensor technology, and then when Apple took that in on board, they knew that. But not only that, but this lawsuit was filed, I want to say a couple of years ago, so Apple already knew that. So my question was, why didn't Apple already have a fix in the works available? They started working on a patch, I want to say at the end of December, once they figured that they weren't going to win this court case, but they should have had something like this already ready to go. A company of that size with that amount of resources should have known that this was a possibility, and their lawyer should have known that this was a possibility, and they should have had this already ready to go. So once the judge denied the ruling, they could just, flip the switch and send out an OTA over there update for the Apple Watch and they could have still sold them, but they're behind. They're behind as it seems, and they're going to have to finally issue something so that they can sell their Apple Watches. Massimo and Apple are locked in legal battle over the alleged patent violation for blood oxygen detection. As a result, Apple Watch Series 9s are meant to be removed from sale January 18th. However, Apple has models ready to sell without blood oxygen detection, which passed customs and is allowed to be sold despite the import ban. It looks like it's not just a software issue. Originally, they were talking about doing some type of software issue that they could just limit it, but it looks like they actually have. If it passed customs, looks like they were actual physical devices. I wonder why they didn't go the software route. Maybe it was too difficult or something. But I think I would have thought that it would have been easier just to implement a software patch to just limit the use of those devices in there. But here's the Apple statement. Apple's appeal is ongoing, and we believe the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit should reverse the U.S. ITC's decision. Of course they do. We strongly disagree with the U.S. ITC decision and resulting orders. Pending the appeal, Apple is taking steps to comply with the ruling while ensuring customers have access to Apple Watch with limited disruption. These steps including a version of Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2 in the United States without the blood oxygen feature. There is no impact to the Apple Watch units previously purchased that include the blood oxygen feature. Correct. Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2 without the blood oxygen feature will become available from the apple.com starting 6 a.m. or January 18th, and from the Apple Store starting January 18th as well. So looks like you can go and get those, right away if you still want to get an Apple Watch. Again, I just figure that they should just issue a software patch on those and flip the switch. Because I have to ask the question, if you're going to buy this Apple Watch after they've implemented this, if it is an actual physical hardware change, you're missing that feature, it's not the same Apple Watch as the other ones. Obviously, you're missing that blood oxygen feature. So I wonder, I don't know, I haven't looked at the website. I wonder, are they going to sell it at a discounted price, or will they still sell it at the full price? I don't know. I have to check that out. But if you know, let me know down in the comments. But that is pretty much it. I do wonder what is the next turn in this, as it looks like there's still an appeal going on, which could take over a year. As we know how appeals work. So it looks like, at least for right now, they are going to be forced to sell those devices without the blood oxygen feature activated in there. But again, I am wondering what is going to happen next, because it seems like every couple of weeks something happens in this case here. So I will stay tuned and let you know what is going on. But let me know down in the comment section what you think is the next step. What do you think Apple's going to do? What do you think Massimo is going to do? How is this going to play out over the next year or so? Let me know down in the comment sections. Once again, thank you for taking time out to watch this video. Again, if you enjoy this type of content, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and chances are, if you enjoy this type of content, somebody in your friends or family may enjoy it as well, so share that with them. Also, if you want to stay up to date with the latest tech news, head over to SoundsDirty.com, where I curate and aggregate tech news from across the web, covering Apple, Samsung, Google, Android, computing, and even more general tech news, all at the website SoundsDirty.com. And for even more tech news in video form, check out one of these two videos right here. Until the next video, guys, stay nerdy.